touch makes a promise that sight betrays. You're here. I want you to touch these walls. I want you to eat the food. I want you to talk to the people. I want you to drink the cappuccinos and experience it with your five senses.
Welcome back to the Love Stories podcast. I'm your host, Charlene Byars. I am so excited to welcome my next guest to the show today. Hannah Gray is a celebrated wedding photographer and founder of Wedding Wellness, where she combines 14 years of expertise and passion for holistic guidance to help couples create intentional, meaningful wedding experiences. Having photographed over 600 weddings across 7 countries, Hannah now uses her artistry and the heart to capture love stories while helping couples build wellness habits that last far beyond the big day. I'm so excited for you to hear this conversation. And remember, stick around for the tip of the week at the end of the show. Welcome to Love Stories, a relationship podcast for successful women, where we talk about love, dating, relationships, and how great love stories are made. I'm Charlene Byars, and I'm so excited to share all the things that you can apply to create a beautiful love story of your own. Cheers to great love. Hello, Hannah. Yes, she's here.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
I am so happy you're here. I just want to tell you something. I believe that you are our first actual wedding photographer. And I know that you don't just take pictures of these amazing weddings. And I just want to say something. Your work and what you capture on weddings, and I don't know if you do other photography, you are incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. I love my art.
Oh, it's just art. It's absolutely incredible. But I was so excited because I knew today's conversation. You know, we talk about, so many of us women, there's something that we, not everyone, but I would say for a lot of us women, something that we dream of. We dream of getting married one day, finding the love of our lives and our wedding and that day and all the things, right? And I know that you are there actually capturing those moments. How incredible is that for you?
It's an honor. It's a very intimate, personal, beautiful space that I've been able to enter into weekend after weekend after wedding after wedding that has taught me so much about humanity and love and myself and marriage. Yeah.
No, it's incredible. No, I'm seriously, I just believe that, when people are obviously they're getting married and, and it's to me, it's always the dress and the photographer.
Yeah.
Right? That's something that they think about. They're like, okay, all the other moving parts, of course, but they really want to capture those moments in the wedding. Yep. So that's a big responsibility that you have, to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's even, I saw during COVID.
Yeah.
When weddings would get canceled and we would do elopements, and I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona. So in Sedona or at the Grand Canyon, they would cut everything except for the dress and the photographer. And I was like, oh, okay. People really value this art form because it says something about their family legacy that is passed on through generations, that we can have it in our hearts and in our minds, but yet it's a tangible representation of this really important day. And we often mark seasons of our lives with photographs. And so we're in the season of that, of humankind, with photography being introduced the last really 100 years. And before that, it wasn't, we documented through written word. Correct. And now there's so many different ways to document our lives. And I'm super interested in anthropology and sociology. And so I find, wedding days are fascinating because it's so much of just human.
Yes, I can imagine. Well, I was thinking about something. Did you start being a wedding photographer before you got married or after you got married?
Way before. 14 years ago.
No, take me back. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, how did you get into this type of work? And I know that you're
Yeah.
not just a wedding photographer. I know that you're also a coach and you help people with
Yeah.
transitions. But specifically,
Yeah.
when you started out, how did you get into this?
Yeah. So I was studying fine art film photography. I'm from Ohio, but I went to school in Indiana,
Okay.
a private little Christian school called Indiana Wesleyan. And everyone, loves to get married young in the Christian world. And so there were just weddings after weddings after
Oh
weddings.
goodness.
And people just started asking me. And I was a sophomore, shooting upperclassmen or like
Yeah.
people who had graduated.
Okay.
And I just fell into it. I always said that the dream chased me. And then I started chasing the dream. I didn't know what it was, but it was fun and it was whimsical and it like fit my personality, being an extrovert. And so my first wedding really captured and enamored me with this this type of day that we
Okay.
do, because for photography wise, you can get portraits, you can get documentary details, you get to eat, you get to drink, you get to dance, and you get to be a part of someone's love story
Yes.
in such a unique way than other vendors who, provide the food. We need
Yes.
the
Yeah.
food.
Oh
We
yes.
need the music. We need the flowers. But I loved being a part of people's lives in this way. And so they kept finding me weddings and then I just
Wow.
kept shooting them. And so I've been shooting for 14 years all around
Okay.
the world. I've shot in 7 different countries and probably 35 different states. And people just find me randomly, like friends of friends of friends or Instagram or Google. And
Yeah.
I love to travel. So I just went wherever the weddings took me. And
Okay.
it's been a journey,
So
especially
let me
through
ask you
COVID.
this. Yeah, I can imagine during COVID. Okay, so you have been doing this for 14 years, and when
Yeah.
you started wedding photography, you were younger and
Yes.
you were not married
Yeah.
and just kind of doing your thing, growing your business, loving it, learning all the things.
Yes.
How and what did you think about yourself when it came to the matters
Um,
of the heart? Were you also in a
yeah.
stage you're like, I'll take photography of, of these people getting married, but I'm not ready yet? Or were you like, oh
Mm.
my goodness, I can't wait?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I have been married now for 2 years. So
Okay.
previously, I was in and out of, I would say, 3 serious relationships in my
Okay.
20s. I'm in my
Okay.
30s now. And some weddings were really hard to go to because I
Mhm.
wanted to get married. I wanted to
Okay.
be in that life season of finding my partner. But I would say that really hit at like 27, 28.
Okay.
I saw a lot of my friends get married young, and I didn't want to get married young. I wanted to
Okay.
travel. I wanted to explore. I liked dating. Like, I really enjoyed the process of dating. And a lot of times with these guys, sometimes I'd be like, okay, like, I want to get engaged. I want to get married. But something always held me back. And
Okay.
I think it was actually a big deal that I said yes to getting married because
Really?
I'm such a free spirit. And as much as I wanted that, there was like a block for some
Okay.
reason that
Okay.
I think watching my parents' relationship growing up, they're still married, but um, I just didn't want what they had. And so I
Okay.
was waiting until I found something that I wanted
That
that
you wanted.
settled in my spirit of like, this was right. And
Okay.
so shooting weddings, there were so many weddings that I was crying behind the camera, like after a breakup or
Oh my goodness,
so,
I can
yeah.
imagine.
Oh
Yes.
man. Like, and just being like, okay, I have to be professional and I want this. What's interesting is a couple 8 years ago
Okay.
got married in Phoenix. It's a
Mhm.
friend of mine, and they just posted yesterday their 8-year anniversary pictures. I'm like,
Mhm.
8 years. They had a song during their first dance. It was
Mhm.
Making Memories of Us by Keith Urban. And I
Okay.
still remember crying, shooting their first dance, and then listening to it on the way home because I wanted that.
Okay.
Like it hit me where I was like, I'm jealous. But that's a vision of what I want. This man, the way that he looked at Paige, I was like,
You're
I
like, that's
want
it.
that.
Yes.
And they're here in Flagstaff now. They moved back up and we're
Okay.
friends and they have 3 little girls and it's fun to watch my couples as well because anyway, that's a side tangent. But
Yeah.
yeah, to your question, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
No, that's
hard.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine you go. And let me ask you this. So when you were, like you said, you just
Mhm.
recently got married a couple years ago.
Yep.
That's amazing. We're gonna talk about
Yes.
him in a minute.
Mhm.
But before your husband, you're this single lady, and you already said you kind of had
Yep.
3 with, I guess, longer term
Yes.
relationships. What was that like for you as you're dating? And they're like,
Mm.
I'm a wedding
Yeah.
photographer. Like what were the guys? Like how was that like
Yeah.
pressure for them or did they love it? I mean, what was your experience with
Well,
Yeah.
that's a great question. I met one of them at a wedding. So,
Okay. Okay.
you
That's
know.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he would photograph weddings with me. So that was
Okay.
actually quite fun.
Okay.
But I never like quite pressured them to get married. And so I think it was just like, oh, that's Hannah's job. That's fun. It was very separated,
Okay.
for
Okay.
them.
Okay.
I think more than anything, I've never been the girl to dream about my wedding. I always dreamed
Okay.
about the honeymoon. I was like, where are
The
we going to
honeymoon.
travel?
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
that's
where are we going to
awesome.
go? Where are we going to celebrate like together, just us
Okay.
two?
Yeah.
So, but through the years, I've picked up things from weddings that
Yes.
I was like, oh, I want this. I don't want that. This seems really fun and I don't need all these traditions. And so, yeah, personally, I mean, I would talk about it with some of the guys I dated, especially the last one before my husband, Ian.
Okay. Okay.
His name was Chris, and I thought we were going to get engaged,
You
and I was
did?
like late
Okay.
20s, and it was right before COVID, yeah. And
Okay.
it's funny how we mark our lives with COVID now. And
We do.
it was like a whirlwind relationship where it felt what everyone talked about, how it was
Really?
supposed to feel.
Okay, let's talk
And
about that. Let's talk about that
yeah,
because you were a single lady,
yep,
you were a career woman, you were
hmm
obviously building your career, building your photography business, in in this whole realm of love and
yep,
relationships. And I'm sure we're going to talk about how you get to learn about people
yeah.
and relationships and all that. How long were you with that particular guy? You said Chris?
Yes, that was
Okay.
a year.
Okay.
But it was like everything lined up and we
Okay.
knew it was right, but then he
Okay.
got scared and ran away. And I really needed to deconstruct what I thought I knew about marriage and what I wanted. And I
Okay.
don't think if I hadn't gone through those 3 relationships and heartbreaks, I would have not been able to be open to Ian. Because what I had learned in those heartaches. I always say I never regret the people I've dated. I think we get to journey alongside
Yes.
of friendships, relationships, and partners, and we don't get to choose for how long. And even Ian, like, he's the love of my life, and
Oh,
I hope we grow old together. But this life is not promised. And so I hold it loosely and I try to stay present in each day that I have with him. And I've always had that perspective dating wise
okay.
because I have lost multiple friends and family members tragically in my life that has really allowed me, like through death, that
Okay.
has really allowed me to grab hold of present time right now and what we
Wow.
have. And it applied to dating, which I'm really grateful for because we had a lot of fun. Like,
Yes.
I had a lot of fun with those guys. And I learned how to have hard conversations and disagree and how to hold my heart and hold another person's heart, even though I wasn't going to spend forever with that human, and learn about their families and learn about how to love myself and how to stand up for
Yes.
myself and my voice. And I'm so grateful for them and all of the heartaches. Oh, all the heartaches
Oh, I can
because
imagine.
I never
Yes.
broke up with anyone. They broke up with me.
They broke
That
up
was
with
like,
you. So
yeah,
that one,
yeah,
particularly
Chris.
ended up
Yeah,
breaking up with you. And were
yeah.
you kinda in shock? Was that
Shocked. Like
shock?
everyone around us was like, "What?"
Wow, because
And
you were like
yeah.
you were just saying because you were single already,
Mhm.
and you were, you had some, prior relationships. And again, you guys, this is so different. Can you imagine being in that type of world, seeing
Yeah.
constantly people, in
Yes.
love, at their highest, I'm in love, we're getting married, all the things,
Uh-huh.
and you're thinking, "Oh, I'm here. We're good. We got
Yeah.
this." And then it was kind of like he blindsided you a little bit.
Yes,
That was something that
100%. 100%.
100%.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
overall, you're in a relationship. This is really important that we're talking about this.
Mhm.
This is really good because I think for so many of us, when we are in relationships, a lot of times it's really coming down to our perspective and what we
Mhm.
think is, real or not real or good or not good or whatever that is for us as individuals. But, when we're in relationships, and yes, it could be romantic relationships, obviously, it can be a friendship, it can be whatever, it's a relationship. But when we're in relationships, we have a whole other person,
Yeah.
right? And their perspective
Uh-huh.
and what they're either sharing or not sharing,
Mhm.
or, how they're showing up or not showing up. So it seems like with this one, and you correct me if I'm wrong, for the most part, he was showing up, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yep.
then all of a sudden, he says to you,
I can't do this. It's not you, it's me. I'm like, oh, the line, like the classic line. I remember where we were sitting, and I actually had that was my second breakup in that
mhm,
room because I
wow.
dated another guy, Jacob, for 3 years.
Okay.
And we just ended up becoming friends. I was like, this is
Okay.
not really going anywhere.
Okay.
And he also broke up with me in my like old bedroom from the house I rented and lived with a couple girls. And I was like, another breakup in this room? Oh my gosh.
You're like, it's the room.
Yeah.
It's the room.
I gotta move. And I remember him saying, I remember him saying, I don't love who you are. And that was the scariest, hardest thing to hear from someone. Like, that's a fear of anyone's is that you're in a relationship or a marriage and you just want to be loved and seen and heard. And then for them to physically, verbally say the words that you're scared of, I think I needed to hear that to really shake up what I believed about all of it and
All of
what
it.
I was
Yes. It's
searching for
powerful. Yes.
and what I really wanted in this lifetime with a partner. Because before that, I love my childhood and my Christian upbringing. I have gone through a massive deconstruction of my faith and a reconstruction. But in that, I had to really face a lot of things that were spoken when you're 14, 15,
Yep.
and the purity movement and my mentors, God bless them, I love them. They're still some of my best friends, but they've even apologized for a lot of things
For the stuff.
because
Yeah.
they were like, we don't know. It's just like mainstream Christianity at the time. And now we see how shameful it was
Yes. It
and
really
or
was.
how idealistic it was, like
Mhm.
putting this human that you're dating or wanting to marry on a pedestal and
Correct.
them really needing to kind of fall off and be like, oh, you're just a human too. Like you're not Jesus. And that's okay. And we get to do this alongside of each other. That had to shift. That was
That
like a
had to
big shift
shift.
for me.
That was
Yeah.
huge.
And so I wrote this poem like a couple
Okay.
days after we broke up.
Okay.
And I found it on my notes app and it's short and I wanted to read it because,
Yes.
okay.
No, because and what I love about this, listen, because
Yeah.
this podcast was truly created for not only single women, but women that are
Mhm.
actually married now.
Yeah.
And I think, when we get to hear other people's stories and journeys, it can be so relatable to so many of us. We're like, oh wow, I was kind of
Yeah.
there too. So I would love to hear this
Okay,
poem.
great.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Has no name.
Okay.
Um,
This is
I
after you guys were setting this up. This is after she's thinking she's with,
yeah.
the
Oh,
one, yeah, he's everything's, we think everything's perfect, but obviously he has his own, view of things.
yeah.
Got you. Okay, here we go.
I really thought he was the one, like everyone talked about. Those feelings that are strong and gravitational. But sweet words and kind touches do not make up a man. No, it's how he responds when I'm holding a mirror to his soul. I am not looking for a warm body to undress me at night and whisper my soul's desire. I want a partner to take on the wave with. Someone who can hold their femininity and not overpower it. Someone who, on days I cannot fight, grab my face and whisper, I was made for this. I am right where I'm supposed to be. Do not settle for just all right. Will he be everything I don't want him to be, but all that I need him to be? Or do I need him at all? Because I think we're both coming to a needing of our own that has nothing to do with each other, but rather ourselves.
Wow, you a writer?
Sort of.
Yeah,
I guess I'm
so
writing a journal right now
you are.
or a
That's
book.
incredible. How
Thanks.
liberating was that for you when you actually wrote it at the time?
Yeah, I remember realizing at the end of the day, at the end of this life, whoever I get to marry, it's still going to just be me. And I need to learn how to sit with me and love me and not be in relationships with someone and not find worth in someone else. Um, and I don't think I was able to really face that until my later 20s and until this massive heartache that, like, my friends still refer to it because we were like, what? It just like shook everything. Um, yeah. And so it's
That's
weird
very
going down.
powerful. No, but it's very powerful because
Yeah.
I work with a lot of women and for the most part, all of us have, seriously, if we're
Mhm.
living and, for the most part, we all have experienced heartbreak. There's some people that haven't, but I would say for the majority of us,
Yeah.
yes, we experience heartbreak.
Yeah.
And heartbreak is, so many different levels.
Mhm.
And some women, and I really want you ladies to hear this right now for the listeners right now. Some of us, when we go through, and especially like something that you went through, thinking, oh my goodness, this is it. This is perfect. Everything's great. Hello, hallelujah, we're
Yep.
great. And then all of a sudden, you get literally, what we talk about, the rug pulled out underneath you.
Mhm.
I got that. And the shock of that. And the like, what just
Mhm.
happened? But what happens often, and it's no fault to these women, or if I've been in that situation, we gotta get stuck there,
Mhm.
and we put a lot of our worth and our value on those relationships, and we believe that oh, that was the one.
Mhm.
How am I going to move forward? How am I ever going to open my heart again? And we put ourselves in this, like I said, in this, like I call it this little stuckness that we are not giving ourselves the space and the time to, heal, to look inwards, to realize that, what? Not everyone we are with is going to be
Mhm.
our forever. And
Yep.
that's actually okay because earlier on when we just started talking today, you even mentioned that, we get to learn about
Mhm.
ourselves. We get to take, the good. We don't have to really we can learn from the things that didn't really work out. But we have this opportunity to realize that something else actually is going to be better for us. Because sometimes what we think that we want at the time is not necessarily what is going to be the best for us in the future.
Yep.
So I would love for you to talk about how did you, for if we're having some listeners that are in that space right now, they're like, oof, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's it for me. That was the only man for me. And they're in that space. What did you start doing besides this amazing poem? Starting to shift your mindset and doing the healing of yourself to eventually open up your heart again. Because I know you're
Mhm.
married now to the
Yeah.
love of your life. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say I recognized that I cannot convince someone to meet me here. They either are here with me or they're not. And for years, every guy I tried to convince to stay, to be
Yeah.
here, to fight for me, to want this. And when I think I had to get to that full surrender and that full deep heartache of losing something I thought was it, to allow myself to fully release and be like, F it, like whatever, and I took some space and time,
That's good.
and it sounds so cheesy, but focused on me. Like,
That's but it's so important.
yeah,
That really makes
yeah.
sense. I know. You
And
focused
others, like
on
my
you.
friends. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes when you're in a relationship, it can be so inner,
Mhm.
and what they're doing, what we're doing, what his family's doing, that um it's easy to forget your friends and your family sometimes.
Yes.
And so I started seeing the people that I neglected a little bit because I was so caught up in that romance,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
me, and everything
Yep.
I'm talking about on the phone to my friends. And then
Yeah.
I stopped and started asking questions and listening more and getting quiet with myself and grounded in a way that I would go on walks every single day in the woods and not bring my phone and be quiet and contemplative. Um, and then I started dating again for fun instead of for
Oh, I love
marriage
it. So
too.
ladies, listen to
I know.
her.
I was like,
You got
oh,
yourself out there again.
yeah,
Good for
yeah. And
you.
I don't know. And not, again, held on to something so tightly, where I think growing up in the Christian world, it was like date to marry, date to marry. And then being out west and being in serious relationships, and then being like, wait, I'm free to just like go on a date from
Yes.
Bumble. Like, because
Yes.
Bumble's new, like the dating apps were new at the time, I guess, or maybe I was new to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just allow myself to date for fun and have good conversations with guys and go on fun dates and go paddleboarding or dinner date or double date or movie dates. I don't know. I just like was open to it instead of being so serious from the get-go. I was just like, let's just see. And
Oh my
it was
goodness. And I'm
fun.
just going to stop you right now. That's exactly what I talk about all the time. Because
Yeah.
truly, ladies, listen to her. Look at her. She lit up when she started talking about that.
I did.
No, seriously, because that's the reality. Dating
Yeah.
actually should be fun. And it
Yeah.
really, it doesn't matter if you're Christian, not Christian, whatever you are.
Yeah.
Like dating is an opportunity,
Hmm.
like genuine, especially ladies. If you're a single lady, get to know different men. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Because we're not committed to anybody.
Yeah.
We don't even have to sleep with anybody. We can
Yeah.
just get to know different men,
Mhm.
have the time of our life, compare the different energies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you know what? When I'm dating Bob, I feel amazing with him. You know, when we
Mhm.
go out and do some things, Bob is a lot of fun. And I'm noticing every time when I'm out with Chris, not so much.
Yeah.
It's important to put ourselves out there, to get right back on the saddle, and I love that
Yeah.
she said so before she did that. This is like seriously, this is the the line. This is I don't know the directions here, whatever you want to call it. This is perfect. Before she did that, she got really real with herself and realized that you know what, it's okay. It was hurtful. There were expectations. She was in love with the guy. She did want to be with him. She would have been with him, but it does. It takes two to tango, and you don't want to
Mhm.
force anybody. They're either in or they're not. Done. That's
Mhm.
okay. And if someone's literally saying that to you, let them go.
Mhm.
Let them go. That's so powerful. It's
Yeah.
okay. Let them go because you absolutely want to be with someone that chooses you
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
It doesn't mean they're bad or anything. It just means if they're not 100% in,
Yeah.
that's okay. But when you have that opportunity to get right back up again after you take your time for yourself, I love that you said you took quiet time without the phone. Like,
Yeah.
you're not distracted, so you can actually hear yourself. You can actually
Mhm.
feel, what's going on with you. And then you go out there and you start probably having the time of your life, meeting different
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
Wow, that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
amazing.
I remember also after Jacob's breakup, because we
Tell
dated for
me.
so long, and
Yeah,
what I learned in that relationship
yeah,
was
yeah.
really how to love myself, because I feel like
Mm,
he was unintentionally degrading a little bit,
okay,
wanted me to be someone else, wanted me to be a different version of a woman.
correct. Yeah.
And so I had done triathlons in the past, but I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I am athletic. What are you talking about? I'm an athlete. How can
There
you
you
say I'm
go.
not? So I did like an Olympic triathlon, and
Badass. I
the
love it.
heartbreak really like propelled me
Yes.
into fiery like cycling and swimming and running,
On
because it was
fire.
for me. It
Yeah.
was for my body, and I was kind of proving something to him, even though he was never going to see it.
No, but it
But
was
it's
you're doing it for you actually in the end of the
yeah.
day. Yeah.
And then it's interesting what that fire can do post breakups. Like post death is different. Like there's different energy behind
Mhm.
a transition like that. But I find, oh man, my best writing comes after a breakup, my best self love, my best prayers, my best working out, my best like outfits where I'm like, I'm going to look good again. My best
It's
haircuts came after a breakup.
powerful.
So I
Yes.
think it's like if you're in that, it can propel you into a new level or a new space of life if you allow it to.
I love
And
that.
I think how you allow it to is you feel every feeling that comes, and not to push it away or hide from it, but actually feel the pain and then decide what you're going to do with it, because you're not a victim to this circumstance. You're a creator of momentum from here. And that's a huge thing I learned was I'm not a victim to this, even though
Oh,
I
I
didn't
love that.
choose it. It's
Yes.
it's not for me. Like
It's not
he's
for
not
you.
he's not for me.
No, he's not for you, and
No.
that's okay, ladies, and that's okay. That's
Yep.
actually okay. Okay, so let me ask you
Yes.
this. So you are, you're doing your wedding photography in
Hmm.
between, you're having your relationships, you go through this major relationship breakup that totally shifted, the way you
Yeah.
think, the way you look at life, the way you look at relationships, and you started shifting yourself. It was an opportunity for you as a
Hmm.
woman to start shifting yourself and really realize, okay, what is it that I really want for my
Hmm.
life? Like, what kind of partner do I really want to have? And knowing that you are, as we said earlier, capturing,
Hmm.
people's most amazing moments of their life, their
Yeah.
wedding. What did you start learning when it came to people getting married
Hmm.
and them, really concentrating so much on the actual day, but not understanding? And I know that other work that you're doing with transitions. Talk to me about how that started and how did you start really saying, there's something here
Mm.
that I need to coach people with?
Yeah. I would say there were years where I wanted to quit photography
Okay.
because I don't really love the industry.
Mhm.
I think it can get very hoopla. Just like there's
Okay.
a lot of hoopla, there's a lot of money to spend, and people are trying to convince you of that you
Okay.
need all this stuff.
Mhm,
But what
mhm.
I was seeing on these wedding days, few things.
'Kay.
They're very different weddings here,
'Kay.
but debt, disconnection, fear of divorce, overwhelm, stress, people are not present. They're just somewhere else, because of all of the family drama and not knowing how to cope and manage with this life transition, but they don't even know they're in a life transition. They're just thinking they're having a party. But then on the other hand, I was experiencing these other weddings that were so rich and full and passionate and I keep using the word human, but like deeply human, and these gatherings of family and emotion and friends and these vows that I would hear. Like, I wish I could gather up all the wedding vows that I have heard. It makes me want to cry right now because I'm like, the way that people speak to each other and what
Mm.
they're committing is so powerful. And when we speak it out loud and we get to engage with it as a community, that's why we do weddings. Like, that's why, yes, some people elope. I eloped, but but I love weddings because it's a community experience that we do not get experience every single day. And so then you're inviting people into that unique sacred space. And I kept seeing deep friendship, like
Okay.
trust and honor in a way that, that shifted throughout the years of photographing people in their early 20s to 40s, like anywhere in between to 50s,
Yes.
and second marriages after death, like of partners, and
Wow.
death with children and
Oh,
divorces on multiple sides, even like family members, but then people coming back together. And
yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
started to see, oh, this is a hard way to put into words, but this is so good because um I get to witness these things that some people just go to a wedding once a
Correct.
year, once a summer.
Right.
And they're their friends and they know them, but a lot of these people I don't know. And so I'm just coming in, and I would say deep honor and respect is what I kept seeing. That's what I wanted. Like that shifted for me. Um and Yeah, so How Wedding Wellness is my other business that
Yeah. Talk about
is attached to Hannah Rose Gray Photography, but separate because it's a whole other thing.
Tell me about that, and then that's what
Yeah,
we're talking about. How was that birth?
yes,
Because obviously, yes.
yeah. So it helps couples navigate wedding season with health while crafting a marriage or crafting a wedding that they want and a marriage that they actually like. Like they want this thing.
Ooh, ooh, that's
Yeah.
good. Oh, say that again. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
I might have messed it up. Crafting a wedding that you like and a marriage that you actually want. Because
Yes.
I don't know, a lot of people they just like do the next thing and they just get married, but they don't actually want to get married together to each other. And I'm like, well, that's sad. Like,
Right, you're like,
and
"No, we gotta help the ones that are really
yeah,
wanting the whole
yeah,
thing."
yeah.
Yes.
And I saw that shift too.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
some reason, moving out west, the people here are, I think it's like people getting married in their 30s. They're just
Mhm,
obsessed with each other. And they're like, I don't want to live without you. Like, I'm obsessed
mhm.
with you, instead of this mentality that I kind of found in my younger years and my
Okay,
younger couples, just the next thing that we do. Oh, we
okay,
graduated college. Now we just get married. And a lot of those relationships are beautiful and they last, and a lot don't. And
okay.
that's okay. But wedding wellness really birthed out of years and years of watching what could be and listening to the whisper to speak to people's hearts, not just the logistics. Every other vendor, even wedding planners, are speaking to what it looks like. What does this wedding look like? And I care about what it feels like. And that's a
Ooh,
really big difference. I
that's
want to,
huge.
yeah. And I recognize these people are freaking out on this day. So many emotions. And my therapist doesn't like me to say this, but I manage people's emotions. She's like, you don't have to manage anyone. I'm like, this is true.
You're like, "But I'm trying to, like, really navigate and help them
Yes.
out to really deal with their
Yeah.
emotions in ways that they can,
Mhm.
be a little more present."
Yes. Yep.
Yes, be, a little
Yep.
understanding on what's actually going on, and this is normal, but there's things that we're gonna do here that we could that
Yes.
so I know I understand
Yeah.
what you mean by managing. That makes sense to me. I
Yeah.
get that. I
So
get
like
that.
creating space for
Yes.
emotions, I guess.
Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
high intuition person
Okay.
and energy, but not in like a Sedona woo-woo way.
Okay. Yeah.
Just energy and like I feel things. I think a lot of women do. And I'm a deep empath. And so it's like, I'm just like sensing and feeling everything when I walk into a getting ready room. And I'm like, oh, mom is upset about something. And
Oh,
bride
I
is
can
feeling this.
imagine.
And
Yes.
this
Yes.
bridesmaid is this. And sister is. And so it can really pull people out of their bodies and out of the experience. And I want them to be right here, grounded with their feet on the ground, taking a deep breath, feeling each feeling, but also fleshing through them so they can actually enjoy their day and remember it in their bodies, not just through the
Mm.
photographs. Again, the photographs are great. I love
Of course.
photography,
Of course. Of course.
but
You're trying to
so
give them
much.
both. You're not, yeah,
Yes.
you're not. So you and
Yeah.
actually what's really fascinating is so when they look back at the photography and they look back at the
Mhm.
incredible pictures, it can also bring back that feeling that you're trying to have them also create
Yep.
of wow, I remember that so well. I was
Yes.
so there. I was so present.
Yep.
Instead of just looking back at the pictures and being like, I don't remember any of this. Wow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
was, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense to
And
me. That is
that's the
really
difference.
powerful.
Yeah.
That's
There's a
huge.
difference when, I like to say I want you to be residents of your memories, not tourists. Tourists take pictures, they look at it, and then they leave. And they don't always remember what it felt like to be present and be in a space. I studied abroad years ago, and my
Yeah.
professor, he said, touch makes a promise that sight betrays. And ever since then, it has helped. He's like, you're here. I want you to touch these walls. I want you to eat the food. I want you to talk to the people. I want you to drink the cappuccinos and experience it with your five senses so that you remember it. Because if you look at a picture on a page, you're not going to remember it. Like
Mhm. That's
maybe,
good.
but not the way that your body will. And so I apply that to weddings, and I help couples think about their wedding days as if a photographer was not there to document it. The last 10 years or however long, we have gotten so obsessed with Pinterest and Instagram and having a certain look in that and performing in front of the camera.
Correct. Yeah, that's
So
so
much
good.
of my work is documentary where I'm like, how do you want to feel? How do you want to spend your time with your bridal party? Do you want to hang out? Do you want to laugh? What would you normally do if a photographer was not there? I don't want to just stage you. I want this to be a day that you remember because you did what you wanted. Like
Yes.
you did,
Yes.
you felt it. You went to cocktail hour to actually experience your guest who traveled hundreds of miles to see you rather than just take pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures, because I'm still going to get them. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're
But
like,
I'm
"Girl,
going to
I
get,
have to."
yeah, but we
We
don't
gotta
need to
have the
do
moment.
hours. Like
Oh,
we
this
don't need to
is
do that.
so good. Okay, this is so good. I've never heard of this with the photographer
Yeah.
before. So I know that, like I said, we said earlier, you're a photographer. And again, you
Yes.
guys, I, I'm just saying, no, she is Pinterest photography too, because
Yes.
it's amazing. But I know that you're a photographer, but I noticed that you took this in a whole different level because you've been doing it for so long. You're like, I don't
Mhm.
just want to capture,
Yeah.
their actual pictures. I want them to be able to
Yes.
feel the moments and be there.
Yeah.
What are some things that you have learned and some things that you start with when someone is in that season? So they are in love, you know what I mean? And they're
Mhm.
like, yes, and they're excited. And there's a lot of things that they're just not aware of. Like you said, there's things that they're not aware of, right? That's gonna happen.
Yep.
And they're in the moment of engagement and getting married. And what are some
Yeah.
things that if someone is in that stage right now, they're in a relationship and they're in love
Mhm.
and they're either engaged or they're getting close to being engaged. What are some things that they can do to start looking at this a little
Mm.
differently, how you coach?
Yeah. I would say the very first thing is going to feel really different
Mhm.
than what the normal traditional wedding planning way
Okay.
is that we do. And it would be first to recognize that you are in a life transition before you pick a date, before you choose a dress and get into the logistics and the fun too of wedding planning
Yes.
and making all of the decisions. I really help my couples get very grounded in what is shifting right now. What are we leaving behind? What are we in the middle of? And what's the new beginning that we're walking into? So that if we can see this whole season, this whole engagement season, as a way to prepare ourselves for marriage through a wedding, but also recognize that we're becoming a new version of ourselves in the middle of this individually, like as partners, and that we're learning to create space for each other to thrive in our life, because that can be hard when you haven't been married before and you're like, it's about me. It's me, what I want, especially around a
Mm-hmm.
wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that I've had to learn in marriage
Yes.
is how do I think about what he wants and his dreams and his goals and what he likes when it's not what I want? And are we right for each other? Like those things come up, obviously, because you're two different humans and you do not need to have the same opinion. I truly believe. And so it's really, really quiet. I want them to go on a walk or sit together without their phones. And I have a guided visualization that I lead my couples through, which is basically taking them to, they're sitting on a porch when they're 80 and they're looking back through their wedding album and they're telling their grandchildren about their wedding.
Oh, you
But
just gave me chills.
what did it
Oh,
feel
that's
like?
so beautiful.
Because that's what it is. It's not just
That's what
about
it
the
is.
images. They help.
And it's not
But
just about that day.
exactly. But it's like even that. What did it feel like? What did it smell like? What did we eat? What did we listen to? How did it look? But what was the number one priority of this day? And all of this, I had been feeling and coaching people on for years. But it really culminated when I got married and Ian and I went through like, whoa, got thrown into the wedding world. And I live in the wedding world, but I
Yes.
felt like, whoa, this is a chaotic wave that I'm a part of right now. And people
Mm-hmm.
are asking me all these questions to make all these wedding decisions. And I was just going with it. And then we kept arguing and like disagreeing. And he's an introvert and I'm an extrovert. I wanted 300 people. He wanted 5.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do that. And so I got really quiet and we did. And I asked him, what is the one thing that matters most if nothing else happened? And he said, our vows in a beautiful place. And I literally had written down the same thing. And if that's the only thing that mattered, all of the other wedding decisions should be aligning with that one.
With that, and we don't even ask that question.
No, because
That's
we're
a
scared. I think we're scared
powerful,
too.
really, but how powerful that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. The
How
one thing.
powerful.
Yeah. And
Wow.
so we can get really jumbled in um, all of the wedding up here, like
Okay.
flowers, decor, cake, dress, bridal party, logistics. And this, the below, the undercurrent, is actually where I want my couples and I want people to sink into, because that's where the peace is. That's where the calm is. That is where the grief often happens as well. I call it joyful endings. You're leaving one season and moving on to another. And I really want them to recognize, as we kind of touched on, is that they're in the middle of a life transition. Life transitions are, I mean, we're all in one right now. We just
Yes.
sometimes don't even know it.
Yes.
And recognizing that we're in one and in an engagement season can really help you stay present and deal with this season without getting caught up in the upper wave, like
Yes.
tumbling
Yes.
and trying to scratch for air. And that's how people become bridezillas, quite honestly, is
Yes.
they've
Yes.
lost sight of themselves. And so that's why rituals and ceremonies and things like this nature help ground us during massive life transitions. So for
Wow.
people who aren't engaged and they're just married or they're not,
Yes. Yes.
think of life transitions as like graduating high school,
Okay.
moving to a new house, getting a new job, moving across the country.
Being in a relationship,
Yep.
and now being single. It's a life transition again.
Heartache.
Yep. Yes,
Yep.
heartache.
Heartache,
Yep.
divorce,
Yep.
getting
Having a
married,
child,
having a
losing a
baby,
job. Yeah.
retiring, moving from one country to a new country.
Yes.
There's a myriad of life transitions that sometimes we just need to put words to. We just need to acknowledge something is ending. I'm disoriented. I'm in the in between, the here but not yet. That's not happening for me anymore. But I'm not here yet. So where am I? And oftentimes your girlfriends or your friends, they're just not in the same season as life as you, which happened to me. And
Okay.
everyone was having babies or getting divorces or whatever in their 30s that no one could really sit with me in my engagement season. And that's okay because I got to sit with myself. Like I kept coming
Yes.
back to, okay, it's me and Ian, and it's how am I shifting? What is happening inside of me? And so through daily rituals, I learned to, I keep using the word ground, but
Okay.
I learned to ground myself with rituals that help navigate life. So oftentimes, routines, it can be said, routines help us get through life or like make life happen in some ways,
Yes. Yeah.
where
Yes.
rituals help us navigate life. They
Okay.
are the thing that we do personally, the thing that we do with partners, the thing that we do with community
Yes.
to help us transition from one season of life to a new season of life. So that's why we have
Wow.
graduation parties, baby
Yes.
showers, belly
Yes.
blessings, retirement parties, weddings, funerals. All of these are rituals and help us transition to through a rite of passage that our culture just kind of has lost, even though humans have been using them for thousands of years, because it's a psychological shift that needs to
Yes.
happen, not
It's so
just
important. Yes.
like a change in our life. It's actually psychological. There's a book, if anyone's interested in this, called
Okay. Tell us.
Transitions: Making Sense of Life's Changes by William Bridges. This is amazing. I've given this to
Okay.
friends who have gone through divorce, death, new babies, because it just puts words to something that you're feeling that maybe no one else is going through at that time. And you don't even know how to say, like you're like, I don't know how to
You
say
don't
this.
even know because you got a lot coming on with you. What is
Yes.
something then, that we can do, when it comes to we're like listening to this right now. And
Hmm.
so many of us are be like, well, I'm in a life transition right now. Like I'm
Yeah.
in a life transition right now. How can they be aware that they're in a life transition? And what is something that they can apply to really
Yeah.
be more present during this transition and give it, like you said, give it
Hmm.
that more depth, that more
Hmm.
grounded, instead of just saying, okay, we're just,
Moving on.
like so many of us moving on. We don't even
Yeah.
pause. We're just going through things. But how important
Yeah.
is this that we do this for ourselves?
Yeah. I would say acknowledge grief, joy,
Okay.
processing, feeling. Um, so oftentimes we just pass by, like what you're saying, we just pass through but yet we carry it on without
Yeah.
feeling it and sitting in it. So if it comes up and you're like, I don't want to feel that or see
I
that
want
or
to
look
feel
at that, that's exactly where you need to go. And I'm not a therapist. Like I'm a coach. Coaches bring awareness and ownership to life.
Yep.
But I
Yep.
have had an amazing therapist for 7 years who has helped me transition through so much of life that her big thing is feel each thing. And in
Yes.
transitions, no matter what it is, if we don't acknowledge it, it's just even verbally saying it to a friend, writing it down,
Okay.
allowing it in the room to be. It sounds so simple, but so many of us don't do it, you know?
Mhm.
I would say another thing is I keep using the word ritual, and it's
Yes.
because I'm quite obsessed around it because
I
they
love
have
rituals. I love
yes.
it. I love it. I love it.
Okay. Okay, good. They have helped me, through my grandmother's death, through heartaches,
Yes.
through death of another friend, through helping another friend process 3 miscarriages and taking shells at the ocean and burying them and speaking
Wow.
out loud this life and her little name and then burying it. There's something about rituals that we do together and that we do separate, like individually, but rituals that we do together often involve physically doing something.
Okay.
So, writing, hiking, drawing, making a meal,
Mhm.
um, burning something,
Yes.
washing with our hands or our feet with water. It's using elements of the earth. Um, and in wedding ceremonies, that's all the ritual.
Yes.
It's exchanging of rings, which is a physical
Yep.
object. There's exchange of vows, which is a verbal. Um, different cultures have different things, whether you're Jewish or
Rituals, like,
Catholic
I don't
or
know, I don't know why I'm bringing this one up because I love cake, but,
yeah, yes,
right, that's a ritual,
yep,
like,
that
really,
is,
like,
it
having
is,
the cake to,
yep,
like a celebration and how
yep,
important that yes,
it is.
wow. Oh, I
So
love rituals. Oh, I
I
wish yes,
know,
bring back more rituals. I
I
love
know.
this.
And so I try to bring them to my friends if something's going on, like my friend's daughter turned 16, not 16. She got her period. That's what it was. And we had a
Yeah.
little party for her and we did a ritual for
Oh,
her
wow.
entering into womanhood. And it
Yes.
was one of the most beautiful things that I've experienced. And I didn't even think of it, but I was like, oh, I love my friends. Yes.
You're like,
They
"This is
like yeah,
amazing."
they think like this. I do want to bring up a book if people are interested in
Okay.
rituals. It's
Yes.
called Hello Goodbye 75 Rituals for Times of Loss, Celebration, and Change by Day. I don't know how to say his last name.
It's okay. Just
We'll put it in the show notes.
we'll put it in the show notes. You guys, she's recommending 2 books today, and we're definitely gonna put those in the show notes.
Yes.
And so is by Dave and just spell the last name real quick.
Okay, it's Day, DayShSchildkret. I'm not
Okay,
good at pronunciation.
that's okay, not me either, no,
Um,
don't even get me started. No, no, no.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah,
amazing.
so
That
much
really
of
helps
this.
also with
Yeah.
ritual.
Yep. Yep.
And
Help you
okay,
like come up with ideas for times of loss, celebration, going to college, moving homes, not just weddings. There's like a little snippet in there about weddings.
yes,
This is about life and about
life.
date, like transitioning from a new season. So like spring going to summer, I do a ritual or I have actually a little freebie for everyone that will include also in the show notes for all the listeners. And it explains why rituals matter, but
Okay.
that's out of my wedding wellness journal. And then at the end of it is one of our rituals called singlehood to partnership, because that's a massive transition
Yes.
is how do we go from being single to partnering when I've enjoyed my singlehood? Like I thoroughly enjoy being single. I'm so much more excited to get married. But sometimes we just don't know what to do with all of this. And
Yes.
Zola and the bride industry and Instagram, no one's talking about this. And
No, this is
I
huge. This is
love
so
to talk
good.
about it.
I love that you're talking about that because I think that's what we talk about, that we have to actually be more present. You hear it all the time. Be
Right.
more present, slow down, do all
Yeah.
the things. We're like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
You're giving us an opportunity to not just be more present and to slow down,
Hmm.
but to put a ritual to it,
Yep.
to give
Yep.
it actually that respect and
Yeah.
that kindness of a transition. And when you have a transition, you can have a ritual, and how much more that allows us to really be more present with
Hmm.
ourselves, with the people we love. And what a beautiful connection. Oh my gosh, we've never talked about this on the
Yeah.
show. This is so
I'm
good.
so glad.
I mean, no, seriously, it's so good because I think it's something that we should talk about more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And instead
Yeah.
of we talk about the
Mhm.
fast-paced world. This is an opportunity to
Yeah.
change that
Yep.
and be more
Yeah.
present.
Especially for me in the wedding world, because
Yes.
again, we just get caught up in spending a lot of money for a day that goes so fast that we tend to not remember. Sometimes, we do.
Yeah,
We do. But
we do
and
the
I
best
just
we can, but we
yeah.
can do it even a little better.
Yeah. Because
You know what?
at the end of the day, it's about the marriage that you're building
Yes.
and the person that you're becoming. And I guess I have to finish this off with explaining I learned all of this and gathered this all because of my love story with Ian and
So that's
because
my next question. Hold on, girl. Before you go, this is fantastic. So let me ask you this.
yes.
So as we're talking about, you went through your breakup and
Mhm.
then you really went inwards and you realize, okay, you know what? I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm going to move
Yeah.
forward, which ladies, please, 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 if you're listening to this, do that. Actually do that. Actually slow
Yep.
down for a moment. Actually take that time for yourself. Fill up your cup. Find
Mhm.
out exactly what it is and how you want to feel moving forward. And you definitely, 100%, you definitely want someone that chooses you and you choose them. Okay? That's
Yeah.
beautiful. So then you're out having the time of your life, girlfriend. You are dating, you're on fire, you're exercising, you're doing all
Um,
the things. How did you meet your man?
yes. Actually at a wedding.
Okay, tell us the story. How did you
But
meet him?
years and years earlier, I was
Okay,
dating Jacob, the
okay,
middle guy,
the middle
and
one.
he was dating someone.
Okay,
And I photographed his sister or his brother and sister in law's wedding, who
okay.
are now my sister and brother in law. And we're
Yeah,
going to their
totally.
house after this
Oh, fantastic.
because I was friends with them before. And so I met their whole family and was quite obsessed with them. And we just chatted,
Okay,
And then this was during COVID lockdown. He had moved
okay.
back from Hawaii to Flagstaff to live with sister and brother-in-law. And Emily, my sister-in-law, was like, "You should come over for dinner." And I'm like, "I know
Oh,
what's happening."
yeah, yeah.
And he did not know what was happening. So
Okay,
it
okay.
really didn't click. And then the next day, I think, we ran into each other outside of a Whole Foods and we talked for an hour about all the things that we love. Italy, Hawaii, traveling, gardening, ethics and philosophy, and I have a lot of random hobbies that I
Yeah,
enjoy like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I
So
love
I'm
it, I
like, "Oh,
love it.
he's deep. He can go there with me."
Okay,
And so I
okay.
asked for his number and I was like, "Do you want to hang out?" And he's like,
Yeah,
"Sure." And honestly, it started so small. Like
yeah.
it started quiet
Something.
and small. It
Yes.
wasn't a big flame. It was a small spark. But
I
that's what
call
I
it the
needed.
slow burn. I call it the
Slow
slow
burn.
burn. I love the slow burn.
I know because you can trust it.
Yes.
That's what I needed was I didn't need a crazy pursuit. I didn't need crazy dates. Of course, it was COVID, so we really couldn't do that much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We did a lot of outdoorsy things, but I needed someone to listen to me. I
Okay.
need someone to see me. There's another poem, short, that I felt about all these other guys. It said, "I was a museum full of art, but you had your eyes shut." And I
Ooh.
read that oh no. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
like
yeah.
paused.
No, no, it's good.
Um,
It's so good.
yeah, we're so good. And I remember reading that during one of the breakups and by Rupi Karar from Milk and Honey, I think. And I felt like Ian had his eyes open and he saw
Oh,
me. And
wow.
like, oh God, that makes me want to cry. I'm also 6 months pregnant. So
I know
I'm
she's
like,
adorable, you guys. She's pregnant, so she's feeling like when we
I'm
said she
like,
already feels all the feels, but now she really, 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 really feeling all the
yes,
feels.
yes.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
So he just was steady and consistent and showed up and he wasn't back and forth. And he kept saying, "I'm not going to miss you. Like, I can't, you're too good to be true. Like, I'm not going to miss out on you." And I'm like, finally, someone.
You're like, huh? But you know what? But listen, this is so good
Mhm.
because you were when you met this one, your husband,
Yep.
you were truly genuinely at a different place in your life.
Yes.
You've done different work for yourself. You've
Yep.
done some different healing, and that's another thing, you guys. When we meet the right person, okay, that's also another part when some more healing starts, really, honestly. But
Yes.
before we get there, I know, but that's okay. That's good. That's a good thing. Okay.
Yep.
But before you got there, you already had a different shift
Mhm.
and transition
Yep.
into what you were kind of looking for, and you were open,
Yeah.
so this was really good.
Yeah. Yep. This
This is
is
really
but
good.
he did not come in the package that I thought he would. I mean,
Mhm.
he's very attractive and he's like 6'3" and
Oh,
very built and athletic,
yeah, yeah.
but he's quiet and introverted and like I'm the opposite and guys I dated were like me and everyone was expecting another social butterfly and they didn't know what to do with him and I don't think I really knew what to do with him. I'm like, so you don't want to go hang out tonight with a bunch of people, like you don't want to do this and this. And I started to learn I still felt the way I wanted to feel even
Yes.
though the package looked different. The desire was there, like the desire, the feelings were there that I could trust. So, there's feelings you can and can't trust, but um they were like, this is how I've always wanted to feel. Maybe it's not what I thought it looked like. This is really slow. This is kind of boring. I remember that came up. And one of my friends who's a therapist, she's like, Anna, that's really good because your childhood and your family dynamics and all the guys you've dated has been chaos.
Yep.
And you've been really attracted to chaos, and chaos has been fun. And I remember I was driving to Phoenix for a wedding. Imagine that. And I remember where I was on the 17 and her saying this to me, and I had a choice to either break up with him and just start dating around again and like searching for chaos because I kept trying to pick fights with him and he's like, no, thank you. And or I could choose the boring relationship a little bit and see where it went. And it's not boring anymore. But at
No,
the
of course, yeah.
time when you're
Yes.
so addicted to the chase
Our
and the
bodies do get
chaos
addicted to that. Yes, it's
and the back
natural.
and
Yes, it's our
forth.
nervous system.
Yep.
100%. Ladies, 100%.
Yep.
What she's saying is so real. It doesn't mean that he's not the right guy. Because
Mhm.
what I've learned too about love, it really genuinely, yes, you can have excitement. Yes, you can have this and all that. It's different stages. But you know what? It should truly, genuinely feel, and I've said this before, and I'm not a
Mhm.
singer, but here I go. It should feel like easy like Sunday
Sounds
morning.
good.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. It should feel
Yeah.
that way because that's
Yep.
when you feel
Mhm.
just you
Mhm.
can rest
You can
in.
rest. You
It's
can
a
rest.
trust, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a trust. It's a oh my
All
goodness,
new things for me
that's
at
what
the
I'm gonna
time.
ask you. So the major so how did you know with this one then, after
Ah,
you went through that this was the one?
it's so funny. I asked this to all of my couples, but no
Mhm.
one's really asked me this. And I would say he was 100% in it with me.
Mm.
And he loved who I was. And he was enamored. He's like, I could just watch you all day, butterfly around, like go from here, go from there. And he would just look at me with such like gratitude. And I think like he was grateful to be in my life and my partner. And that was a shift. That was, I think, how I knew outside of deep conversations and us
Yes,
connecting about our
yes,
dreams and our goals and our
yes.
values in life and all those things aligned. And so then I felt, okay, I can keep pursuing this. This is safe. It was steady and constant and sure and no games. Zero games. Sometimes I'm like, play the games. And so that's how I knew. So yeah, we dated, gosh, we dated 3 years and then
Okay,
we got married in Italy 2 years ago.
okay.
Um, we eloped because I wanted a big wedding and he wanted a small wedding. And
Right, yeah.
I was like, you know what? Once we identified our priority, the only thing that mattered was our vows to each other. I lived in Italy. It's a very special place to me and him. And then we came back and had a party in Ohio with my
Yeah.
family and
Okay.
friends and one in our backyard. So we still got to celebrate with our people and had our own little rituals there. But it was truly the most perfect day. Like, so dreamy, a little rainy in the morning,
Oh,
and just like ran around the cobblestone streets in our outfits and had wine and went to a vineyard and said our vows and had dinner with some Italian friends that still live there. And it was magical. And it was everything that, I don't know, that you want it to
you
be,
ever wanted, and you know what you said earlier, and I want, I want everyone to listen to this too. When I asked you that question, when I said,
Mhm.
how did you know? And we talk about going back a little bit, how when we truly, genuinely choose someone and we feel that that person chooses us, like literally for, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of
Mhm.
it. And
Mhm.
and you're like, you still into me? Oh, wow.
Yep.
It comes from shit. Wow.
After the
And you
drama.
always like, seriously? Oh, wow. And they're like,
Yeah.
yes, I am. I'm
Yep.
into you. He chose you. He wanted
Mhm.
you. And I want women to understand, be with a man
Yes.
that honestly, that he is your biggest cheerleader.
Yep.
He thinks you are the best thing from sliced bread. Honestly, like
Yep.
seriously, be with a man. There's never going to be a perfect person. That's cool, you guys. That's
Yep.
okay. We're not talking about that. But absolutely,
Mhm.
choose a man that is 100%
Mhm.
choosing you and he thinks you're just amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing. Oh
Yep.
my goodness.
Yeah.
This was girlfriend. Wow, I know we went over, and you know what's so
Yep.
funny? I can't keep doing these podcasts like this because I just have the
I
most
know.
amazing conversation. I know you guys are listening to this, and it's just going by so fast because every little nugget is happening, is happening,
Yeah.
is happening. I know. Oh my goodness, this was so good. But before we even, I know I have to wrap it up. Whatever. Okay, 'cause this is so good. Well, you'll
We
come
could
back.
talk forever.
Yeah, totally. First of all, how did they get in your world? Because I know, let's talk
Mm.
about, I know you do, like, can you mention one more time, you do actual wedding photography, but then you do the coaching.
Yes.
So how did they get in your world?
Yeah. So for photography wise, everything is Hannah Rose Gray with an A, Gray, photography, whether it's on Instagram, the Googles, whatever.
Google's, yeah, got it.
No TikTok because I don't do, well, I do it for wedding wellness, but
Okay,
so that's like photography, Hannah Rose Gray.
okay.
And then wedding wellness is wedding wellness on Instagram, online, on Google, on TikTok, because I offer a lot of resources and
Cool.
different tips and tricks on Instagram and TikTok for the Gen Zers,
Yeah, that's
because
fantastic.
that's where everyone's at.
Yeah.
But I am currently in the middle of launching. I'm almost done in print.
Okay.
It's called the Daily Ritual Journal. It's to help a bride um, transition through her engagement season by daily checking in with herself through these guided prompts and reflection questions. There's 5 wedding rituals in the back that will help you transition, along with exercises with your partner and all of that in the beginning. That will be launching summer of 2025. So in
Okay.
the next couple months.
Okay.
And the little freebie for you guys is a snippet from there. So you can have
Ooh.
like a taste of it. And then in that PDF, you can click learn more and it'll take you to the website
Okay.
and to more information. There's a pathway that's coming as well, which is kind of like a course, but not, which it'll include mindfulness tips and tricks with guided meditations, yoga, decision making things, a little bit of marriage prep, but as a coach, I also offer individual sessions as well
Oh,
that
cool.
you
Okay.
can look at that through the wedding wellness page.
Okay.
So couples that I photograph, I coach through their wedding season,
Yep.
but also I can offer individual specialized coaching. I'm not a therapist, but I'm not your mom and I'm not your best friend. I am unbiased and I've seen 600 weddings. So
Yeah.
there's a lot that I can speak
Help you with.
to and help
Oh, yes.
you navigate in. So yeah, that's
Oh my
almost done.
gosh, girlfriend, what are you looking forward to? Because I know you're
Yeah.
pregnant. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you. We
Thank
gotta come bring you
you.
back for that conversation.
Oh yeah, I'm in
And
a life
yeah,
transition right now.
that's another life transition.
Woo, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I can imagine. How has it
Yeah.
been for you and your man and the
Oh,
excitement of this
it's like
baby?
so sweet. It's
Oh,
been it was hard at the beginning for him to
yeah,
recognize that I was pregnant and something was happening. I was just
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so we had to work through that in therapy as
Yep.
well. And um, the fact that he's getting hired by the fire department. So we're both in a life transition of
Yeah. Yep.
baby and new career, but now it's really bringing us together and we're so excited to parent and
Oh,
have
the
our
best.
little family with our cute little doggies and um figure out how to be parents
Yes.
together. But
Yeah, yeah. We'll bring you
it's
back on that one. I'm a
so
mother of 4
good.
and 2 bonus
Oh,
kids. I love
yes.
it. It's my jam.
Yes.
I love it. I
Give me
love
all
it.
your stuff. But yeah, we're
Yeah,
looking
it's a
forward to
big
baby.
transition. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So one last summer, just us two.
That's it. Yeah. The life will never be the same, but in a
Nope.
good way. Yeah. It will
Yeah.
never be the game. No, seriously, you are amazing.
Oh, thank
This was
you.
so powerful. I love this conversation
Thank you for having
today.
me on.
Oh, no, thank you for being on, and thank you
Yeah.
for all your wisdom and your humor, and
Yeah.
you're just fabulous, girlfriend. You're so fabulous, seriously.
Thank
Is there
you.
anything that I know we talk so much, but is there
I know.
anything that you wanna leave our listeners with before we have to go?
Mm. This is all we have is right now. So if we can be present in this moment, it's the best thing we can do. It's the only thing we can do.
I love that.
So be
Just
present
be
with your
present.
people. Yeah.
Yes. Because honestly, I
Mhm.
mean, I know we're talking about sounding cliche, but
Mhm.
truly, we can't bring back tomorrow,
Nope.
and we don't know about the
Yep.
next step, right? We don't know
Yep.
about oh, no, we can't bring back our past, and we don't know about tomorrow.
Yes.
Something like that, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
really true. I really have
Yeah.
also myself have tried to genuinely be in the moment, and I know this is kinda sound a little deep,
Mhm.
but I think about Charlene from right now until death, and I don't
Mhm.
know when that is. I don't know when
Yep.
that is. How do you want to be? How do you wanna live your life?
Yeah.
So that's perfect. That's
Yep.
perfect. Thank you
Don't
for
jump
that.
ahead. Yep.
Yeah, thank you for
Be
that.
right here. Well, thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much, and
Yes.
cheers to great love.
Let's talk about the tip of the week, which is create small, meaningful rituals to honor the transitions in your life. Whether you're stepping into something new or closing out an old chapter, take a moment to mark it. Light a candle. Journal about what's ending and what you're welcoming in, or gathered with loved ones to celebrate. It doesn't have to be big or fancy. What matters is giving yourself a chance to pause, reflect, and truly honor the season you're in. Because when we slow down to acknowledge these shifts, we step more fully and joyfully into what's next. That's a wrap. I love this conversation with Hannah Gray. She's not just an incredible wedding photographer, but she's someone who really understands how life's transitions shape us. Whether it's getting married, moving, or closing an old chapter, she reminded me how important it is to honor these moments with rituals. Big or small, it's such a beautiful way to give light to what's ending and fully step into what's next. If you're loving this podcast and these incredible conversations, please hit the subscribe button and leave a 5-star review. Don't miss an episode because each week I'll be bringing on guests and experts who will share their knowledge about love, dating, and relationships so you can apply it into your own life. I'll see you next week. And until then, cheers to great love.